Hey, today we are talking about something very near and dear to my heart. No, it's not hair products, but it could be. Okay, so look, I'm in North Carolina today. It's a little humid, so I start getting the from here down the afro. But we're talking about video. I want to take you back in time. I've got this. I want to take you back to August 1st, 1981. Some of you are like, I wasn't even born then. And for those of you people I don't like, something happened on this date, August 1st, 1981, at 12:01 a.m. Anybody have an idea? I give you an idea. A little small experimental channel called MTV, which actually stood for that point, Music Television, launched. And the very first music video they played was by a group called the Buggles. You remember them? Nah, probably nobody does except for this trivia. The song they played, Video Killed the Radio Star. Video killed the radio. It probably didn't sound anything like that. But here's the point. Did it kill the video star? Heck no. But it did change the way that we watched video. There were a lot of groups then that became more about their video. I don't want to say that. I was going to say more about their video than their music. That's not fair to the musicians that I know and love out there and support by buying their music. But it did change, though, the way. So when they launched that, it completely changed. Now, how is video today? Oh, baby. Or Babette, or Baber. I don't know what you would be. It's completely even gotten bigger. I want you to remember this number. 93%. What the heck does that mean? We're going to talk about that today. Don't go. And welcome to the Explore, Share, Impact show. I am your host, and last time I checked, the only one here, Kevin Kolbe with Kevin Kolbe Media. And the whole point of this show is to explore the wonderful world of digital media and marketing to help you share your story and impact the world, whatever you do, whatever business you have or nonprofit, or if you're just a fellow creative. I do end up talking a lot more to businesses and nonprofit, but that's okay. So, Did you remember the 93%? Okay, keep that in mind. That is going to I'll put it this way. I've been doing video for a long time, and it blew my mind when I read that stat. So, by the way, if you've watched the show before, a little different setup here. Got more of the. I don't like this space right here. Do you like this space? Let me know. It feels void. Maybe I need a plant. I have no green thumb. The rule in our house is if we want the plants to live, my wife takes care of them. If we want them to die, I'm your man. But it's just true. It's the way it works. I don't have a green thumb. I have fat thumbs, but that's it. But I got a new desk, and so I've kind of redid some things. So anyway, that's where I'm going with this. But I love quotes. Maybe you don't. I love quotes. I want to give you this quote today. Jack Canfield said, "Don't worry about failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try." So today, it's all about what you need to know about video. Now, you may be saying, Kevin, which is the way that people in the South say my name sometimes, Kevin. You may be saying, but wait a minute. Everybody uses video. Everybody knows how big video is. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. There's a lot of people that still don't use video, and a lot of it is because I think people get afraid of video. So I want to kind of share what I think are 5. Are there 5? Did I come up with 5? I think there are 5 myths about video that people have that they get stuck on. Now, I guess I kind of tipped my hand, didn't I? You already know that I think they're myths, because I think all of these, I think these are real misconceptions people have, and I think there are things that people have issues with, but I don't necessarily agree with any of them. So, and if you're watching on whatever platform, leave a comment and let me know if any of these myths ring true to you, if you believe any of these or you've struggled with these. I'd love to know that. So, hey, let's dive into it. So, myths about video. And since you can't see me, I'm going to take a little swig of water. You need expensive gear. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that I don't know if you've ever heard that or not, but I don't know how many times somebody has said to me, well, I don't want to use an iPhone on this. Well, I don't want to use my phone on this. Like it's inferior. Well, I got to tell you right now, I've got an iPhone 8 Plus because, quite honestly, I don't want to fork out the cash yet for the 11 Plus, but I'm so intrigued by it. You can do some absolute amazing things with your iPhone. If you don't believe it, I mean, go to my YouTube channel. It's a Kevin Kolbe, and you'll see some of the videos I've done on it. Steven Soderbergh, big Hollywood director and producer, did a movie not too long ago called Unsane. I haven't seen it. I've heard it's okay. Shot completely on an iPhone. He did use an iPad for some of it, but it's still kind of the same, right? He said he would never go back. There's a reporter somewhere down in, I think, Texas, does all of his stories on his iPhone. And he did it, I think if the story goes right, he did it as a challenge just to see if he could do it. And then he found out, I can do it. Produces everything, voiceover, graphics, everything like that. So the myth that you have to have expensive gear just is not true. What's another myth? It takes too much time. Now, I don't want to leave you the impression that it's just, you just whip out a video in no time at all. Years ago, because I was in television for a long time, and I think one of the first, this goes back a long, long time, but one of the first promos I did, you would produce these 30-second, what we call promos, promotional announcement promos, was for a show that we had for the station I worked at. We worked 8 hours on that. We shot actually for 8 hours. Now, so there's sometimes when, I just recently was in Burgaw, North Carolina, working with an organization down there on hurricane relief. I was down there for 2 days, and I edited several videos over 2 or 3 days. But the thing is, though, the myth that I think people have is that it's going to take too much time, and that's not the case. It can take as much time as it needs to, but sometimes it doesn't take that much time. Heck, and in a future show, I want to dive into places and ways you can use video, but it just doesn't take that much time. And that might be a good time to plug this. If you are stuck on what kind of video to do, please download a copy of this. Totally free. Go to kevinkolbestore.com. And you can download that 25 video ideas for your business. And as always, if you get stuck and you need help, reach out to me. But those are 25 video ideas. You can get started. And as I say in the guide, if you've never done video or you're unsure, you've done some, it just hasn't worked out, just start maybe with 3 and see what happens. But anyway, it takes too much time. It doesn't have to. That's a myth. Another myth, you need a big budget. No. Here's the reality of it. You don't need any money. Now, I do believe sometimes spending some money can help you, but it's just like, go back to the first one, expensive gear. The belief that I've got to have a lot of gear and got to spend a lot of money to get a better product is just, hang on, I want to lean in for this one. It's just bull. It's just not the case. Now, do I have some nice gear? Absolutely. But the gear doesn't make you any more creative than anybody. It can help you. It can help you sometimes share your story and things like that. But you don't need a big budget. You just don't. And I may mention this a couple of times, but years ago, one of my absolute favorite Super Bowl commercials of all time was for FedEx. And it was color bars. You know what color bars are? They're just literally those. It fills up your screen with color bars. I should have had a graphic or been able to show that. And you hear boop, and there was a crawl that came across the screen. And it was like, well, we'd spent all this money for this Super Bowl commercial, and we had dancing elephants and all this other stuff. But unfortunately, we used a cheap rate shipping company to send the commercial, and it didn't get there. We should have used FedEx. Now, I have no idea what that cost them, but I guarantee you that wasn't thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So the myth that you need a big budget is not the case. Now, sometimes you may have to spend some money if you're going to be doing custom music or you want a special announcer or something like that. But you just don't need it. You just don't need a big budget, and I think that holds people back. And by the way, let me know in the comments again if any of these myths or misconceptions resonate with you. If you've been stuck with some of these, and if you've got any other ones that maybe I haven't shared. So what else is on this list? You need a big audience. Now I'm going to go back to my Super Bowl analogy. And this is where I think I've heard Gary Vee say this, and I don't agree at all. I think, and I'm sure Gary watches this show all the time. Thanks, Gary, for being a faithful viewer of Never. But one of the things that I think I've read somewhere is that he believes, oh man, if you've got the money, you need to be in the Super Bowl because it is the biggest game of all time. Now, I love the NFL. I absolutely love it. That's my thing. I just love watching NFL, and I watch the Super Bowl. There might be a couple of teams, if they ever make it, might be the first year I don't. The commercials every year get talked about. That is true. In fact, that has become almost as big sometime as the game. But here's the thing. Just because you're paying whatever it is, $3 million for a 30-second ad, I ain't got that kind of cash. Do you? Let me know, because if we do, let's talk. But just because it runs in a big audience doesn't necessarily mean it gets seen or remembered by everybody, and that's the case. So can you remember 5 of the last commercials you've seen in the Super Bowl and what they were for and what they sold? Probably not. You may say, well, yeah, Anheuser-Busch does the Clydesdale. Okay, but they do that every year, so that's kind of cheating. You don't need a big audience. You don't need a big audience on your social media or your website or something like that. You need one person. You need one person to help you. And another one is, and this is big, you don't need it. So those are 5 myths that I think keep people. Are they keeping you? Let me know. Are they keeping you from doing video because you think you need expensive gear and you think it takes too much time? You think you need a big budget. You think you need a big audience, and you think you don't need it. Because I'm telling you, video is huge. Now, remember the number I shared earlier, 93%. Remember that? So let's go back to the last one of you don't need video. Let me throw this out to you. Where is it? Here it is. 93%. So there's a recent stat that said 93% of businesses have gained a client or a customer from a video on social media. Think about that. 93%. I ain't good at math, but that's almost 100%. 93% of businesses have said they can attribute video to getting them a client or a customer. Let's say a customer. So let me ask you a question. What do you sell? What's your business? Even if it doesn't matter whether you're a home business, you're an entrepreneur, you're a startup, whatever, nonprofit. How much would one customer mean to you? If you sell a car and you sold a car for $25,000, I think that would be a lot, even if you work off of commission. What if you built custom homes? What if you sold jewelry? What if you sold houses? What if you fill in the blank? 93% of businesses can attribute video to bringing in a customer. So what you need to do if you're not using video is step back and go, what would one more customer mean to my bottom line? Well, if you can do a video and get past the myths and it brings in one, that could be huge. I mean, maybe it gives you more money to advertise. Maybe it gives you more money to add to it. Maybe it just gives you money to take a break. So think about that. 93% of businesses say they gained a customer off of a video. So now, what are some of the places you can be? I think the best absolute place to be is social media. Sorry, got something in my eye, or I'm just getting emotional. I think the absolute best places you can be. Now, I think website and things like that too, and I believe that you need a website. But I do believe, pesky hair, I do believe that the best place that you can be with your video and your video marketing is social media. I think there's 3 things that social media will give you. And not in this show, we're going to break it down, but I want to share those 3 things. Why use social media? Well, bucko, it's very simple. Free, huge, or as I've heard it called, huge, and easy. Just think about this. As I wipe my eye again, social media is free. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. What am I missing? Instagram. It's free. And what blows my mind is YouTube. Remember the second point on there is huge. How big it is. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. You know who's number 1? Google. You know who owns YouTube? Google. Kind of see how it works there? YouTube is free. Facebook is free. Now, you may have to pay some money sometimes to boost an ad or something like that, but, and organic, we can get into that into another show. But I'm telling you right now, if you think about how much social media gives you, and it's free, and it's huge. Now, I don't want to leave you with the impression that you just throw a video out there and everybody sees it, because that may not be the case. And there are some I hate to call them tricks, but there's some things you can do to your video to give it a better chance of being seen. But these are huge audiences, and it's just a great way to get in front, and it's easy. Now, what I mean by that is that every social media platform has its own tools. Now, I don't typically use like the camera that is built into Facebook or the camera that is built into Instagram. I like shooting it a lot of times just on my phone and then tweaking or editing. But there are tools that you can use that can help you with each one, and that's huge. But in reality, it's really easy to produce a video. Now, we're not going to argue about if is it good and does it make sense, because I think there's some things you need to be doing in your video to get people's attention. But it's fairly easy to use, and it's huge, and it's free. So, are you using social media for video? So I'm assuming that, well, okay, maybe you're doing video, but are you doing it where you need to be? So, again, if you want to do video and you're stuck, please grab this free copy of the 25 video ideas for your business. Put it together. You can have it. Go to kevinkolbestore.com and you can get it. But let me know if there are some of the myths we talked about that you struggle with, that you believe, and why they're stopping you, because I'm telling you, they're misconceptions that keep you from doing, and video is huge. And it goes back to the quote, don't worry about failures, worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. If you worry too much about, well, will this video work, then you don't even try it. I can guarantee you this, the only guarantee I'm going to make you, if you don't do anything, that's exactly what you'll get, is nothing in return. Hey, I've enjoyed being here. I've enjoyed sharing video. Some upcoming shows we're going to break down more specifically about the social media platforms that I would recommend you being on. I don't believe you have to be on everything, but I think each one has their own validity. Does that make sense? And then we're also going to be talking about live streaming, and then we're also going to shift and talk about podcasting and blogs and websites too, because I think that's very important. But if I can ever help you explore digital media and marketing so you can share your story and impact the world, hit me up. So many different ways to hit me up, all over social media at Kevin Kolbe Media, or just right here, leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Kevin. Total.